Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Horse Center. I am so happy to be back. It was a fun vacation, but I really missed the show and I really missed you guys. I'm Wild Jamie. With me is the absolutely amazing Swiss Army Sean, of course. And our guest tonight is someone very near and dear to our hearts here at Horse Center, multiple stakes winning jockey, currently in Charlestown, West Virginia, Andre Ramgeet. Welcome to the show, Andre.
Thanks for having me.
And the name Ramgeet is going to be very familiar to Horse Racing Today fans, even if you don't follow Charlestown Racing, because our own lovely Julie Ramgeet is married to Andre. That's how she got the name, obviously. It's very funny because recently a lot of people have been telling me, you guys' videos have really upped it, like you're taking it to the next level. And I'm like, that's probably because I'm not doing them so much anymore. Now it's mostly Julie and Rich, but thank you. So props to Julie for that. All right. So, Andre, let's get back to you and your career. As I said, you're currently in Charlestown, but how did you get your start in racing?
Ooh, yeah. Well, my dad's a jockey. He's been riding Jamaica, and then he came here. Just been following him. And then, ever since we were kids, we always went with him. Every time he went stake races and whatnot, we're in a bunch of pictures with him. So, kind of grew up with it. My uncles and stuff are trainers, jockeys. My cousin, Rajiv Miraj, he's my cousin. Romero Miraj, also my cousin, Tony Miraj. It just runs through the family. So,
Very cool.
Decided, might as well give it a shot too. And
yes, and you just named some awesome people, some friends of the show. We love the Mirages here at Horse Center. So awesome. Something I have to bring up right off the bat is, as I said earlier, you are currently at Charlestown, West Virginia, but that's a pretty recent thing for you. You left Gulfstream Park not too long ago, not too far from me in Southern Florida. So what has that relocation been like? I mean, you're right there in the thick of it in January. What is the training like, getting out in snow? I've seen some of the videos Julie's taking. It looks terrifying to me. What's that adjustment been like for you?
It was a little tough at first, but once I got the proper clothing that I needed, I'm actually all right now. I'll be out there in 30 degrees and, I'll be out there sweating, I'm warm. But before, it's cold. But I mean, like I said, once it drops into like the 20s or lower, my fingers can't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot imagine the winter gear that requires. Julie says he's adjusted better than me. I can tell from some of your posts, Julie. I'm sorry for you. And Grandma Horse Racing says a family affair. HRT, that's true. We are a family affair here, and we get a lot of our guests through our connections. So we always appreciate that. So as far as training in the cold weather versus training in, super hot down here, Southern Florida, what kind of considerations do people have to take for the horses to keep them safe and whatnot? Like, have you noticed a difference in training programs or what you're having to do out there?
Really, the training program really hasn't changed much. It just depends if the track is frozen or not. The training will change a little bit there. They won't train as hard on a frozen track.
Sure.
But other than that, everything's just pretty much kind of, keep pushing and going.
Wow, that's wild. Well, hats off to you. I certainly couldn't do it.
So, Andre, let's get back to when you first started, 2014, your bug year. You had a great start. Talk about that year a little bit.
Yeah, I started back in Calder. I got my first mount for my uncle Colin Miraj, and that's where it all started there. And then after I win my 5th race, I got a call to come here to Charlestown, and as I came here, I was riding mostly for Ronnie Brown. I did really good riding for him, and then I fractured my wrist, and then when I came back, I got a call to go to Fairgrounds. And then there, I was battling for leading rider as a bug with the guy James Graham. Me and him were going back and forth, and then I got hurt day after Christmas. Took me out for a while.
Yeah, so you've had some injuries, and you've had other setbacks in your career too.
Yeah.
And then any other things you want to mention, because I've known some other things you've dealt with too.
Yeah, so after, day after Christmas, I broke my shoulder. I had a concussion for almost 3 months. I couldn't really get out of bed, do anything much, and then I started getting back on horses. And then day after Mother's Day, I was leaving Gulfstream to go to Calder to work a horse, and lost control of the car, hit another car head on, and put me in the hospital. I
Wow.
was there for, shoot, I can't even remember, maybe what, 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks. First 3 days, I don't remember anything. They kept me under, don't remember anything at all. And then after all of that, after I got better with that, I came back to the fairgrounds meet. I still picked up, did good. Still ended up, what, I think 10th in the standings. And then after that, it was just a bunch of stuff. That's when I started talking to Julie. That's how we met. Started talking from there. And then, going back and forth between Florida, trying to find, where I want to go really was tough. And then, we were having our first son, and I was in Turf Paradise at the time. I was riding there, just trying to help out. And then we had our son, and then, I was still going back and forth. I went to Arapahoe, but, every week I was, flying back and forth, which made it tough. And then we had our daughter. She had heart problems. We found that out at her age of 2. So she actually just had her heart surgery last October, so a little over a year ago. So that set us back a lot. When they told us that we're gonna have to do it, we decided, we're gonna stay in Florida. We're gonna try to, bunker down because the Joe DiMaggio there was the best place to be. They were the number one pretty much. So we decided to stay there. And then at the same time, COVID hit. And at Gulfstream, they gave us the option. It's either we ride or we gallop. So I decided, you know what? I wasn't really riding a whole bunch. So I took a steady job with Eddie Pliza. And I was helping out David Fox and a couple other guys there. And then I also took out an outside job at Advanced Auto Parts, just, keep income coming, Couldn't ride for that 2 years that when COVID hit. And then,
Wow.
yeah, it's been rough. But I mean, that's
That's
why, you don't really see much of my stats going anywhere. It has little perks here and there, little spikes, I mean. But yeah, it's been a little rough.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's
amazing though. Oh, sorry, Sean. Like I said at the beginning of the show, you're already a multiple stakes winning jockey. And to go through all of those setbacks and to just be determined to keep fighting, to keep doing what you have to do for your family, that is so admirable. Like, you can't measure that. And I just wanted you to know that Terry Hay gave you a personal invitation to come to Golden Gate Field. So we need to just get that on the record. And Sonny Martinez says, he's a hell of a worker. Raina Jenkins says, we love Andre. And quick question from Grandma Horse Racing as well. What do you prefer more, Gulfstream or Charlestown?
It's between the two tracks, it's two different type of riding styles. You come to the bull ring, it's more of a quick pace. You don't really get to settle the horse. It's more break and kind of go. Gulfstream, the mile track. You can break, sit, and then you just see the race unfold in front of you. But here, it's just break and go. That's all it is here.
yeah, and that kind of works to your advantage a little bit. You seem to be really good out of the gate. Am I right about that? And what makes you so good out of the gate?
I mean, yeah, I like breaking the horse. I like taking horses to the gate, working with them, breaking them out. It's more of, let them get the first jump and then ask them to run after that. You don't just push them off their feet. You want to make sure they have their feet under them before you ask them to run. Because a lot of times, you got to ask them that first jump, you push them too hard. They might stumble, bobble a little bit, and then pick up their feet.
Yeah, and you were talking about your numbers, but last year you rebounded nicely, first full year in a while, and you had a pretty decent year. So let's talk about 2022 a little bit.
No, yeah, it was good. Once a lot of people heard that I was coming back, back up here to ride. It was, a lot of good things. When I left here, I didn't leave on a bad note. I didn't burn no bridges. I let everybody know ahead of time I was leaving and this and then I came back here, kind of try to pick up business where I left off. I mean, Yeah, I'm not riding for top trainers, but I'm holding my own, riding for the local trainers, the little trainers here and there.
Isn't
Yeah.
that almost more? Isn't that almost more rewarding too when you get to ride for the little guys and you still get to put up decent
Oh,
numbers?
oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, because they're giving me a shot. I'm doing the best I can to help them out too.
Yeah. You're getting tons of love on here. Sunny Martinez said that you're also a talented rider. Kim Randall says he's the best. No one has a better work ethic. And Grandma Horse Racing says, as a blue collar better, I have become an instant fan of Andre. Absolutely. So, Andre, what is one of your best moments in horse racing that you've had so far?
Ooh, hmm. There's a couple. I guess it would be. I would say my first stake swing back in Delta Downs. I rode a filly down there, a limited little lady for Ron Fauché. First time I ever went there, he never met me, put me on the horse. Delta's another bull ring. So I was leaving Charlestown to go there, so I was familiar with it. I went on her, regular claimant race, win by 8. He's like, I'm going to step her up. I was like, all right, no problem. Putting her allowance, I win by length and a half. Then he says, I'm going to step her up again. I was like, where do you go from allowance? I was like, okay. Next thing I see, she's in the stake race. I was like, all right, well, then I went and win by half a length there. And, it was just exciting. I was 3-0 there at Delta, my first time going there.
Yeah, very cool.
Is there any other?
Oh, sorry, go ahead, John.
I'm sorry. Is there any other tracks that you want to run at that you haven't run at?
Shoot, I've been to a lot of places. I mean, I haven't been to anywhere, Keeneland, Kentucky. I haven't been to any of them. I'd love to go there one day, just give it a try.
Have you ever gone as a fan?
No, I haven't. I've always wanted to, but never have.
Okay, are you like most jockeys? Because most jockeys I know hate going to the track unless they're racing. Like, I cannot drag my husband to Tampa. I'm like, we live 2 minutes from there. Let's go see our friends. He's like, absolutely not. Are you like that, or will you go and watch races?
I mean, I'll go and watch if I'm going with, Julie or a couple friends, that's fine. We'll go for a little bit, watch some races and, just have a little fun. But other than that, I'm not going to, get up one day and be like, oh, I'm going to the races. Nah.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that feel like you're going to work if you do that?
Yeah.
But you're not getting to work?
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Now, earlier I mentioned, of course, Julie, how could we not? But is that any advantage for you? Because not only is Julie great at, creative stuff, video editing and whatnot, but she's also an accomplished horsewoman herself. How has that affected your life? Having someone who's also tied into the business, like, I just feel like it's hard for racetrackers today outside of the industry. So what has that meant to you to be, in life with someone who knows all about what you do? You don't have to explain yourself.
No, it definitely helps, because in races and stuff, if I make a mistake, she'll let me know that, I see that you made this mistake here and there. And, I kind of tell, it's a little split-second decision I made. And she's like, well, you could have done this and maybe this would have happened. I was like, I'll try it next time, just,
Okay.
little critiques here and there, and then we just build from it, that's all we can do.
I honestly wish the other week you ran a race right after we got off Horse Center and Julie was watching it and we were watching it. And I wish I had it live on her reaction to you winning the race and getting up in time. It was awesome. And we weren't live. We just ended the show.
Oh yeah, I think I do remember that one. I'm the horse now, but yeah, she was telling me about it. I was dying.
We're calling her out. She's not happy about it. We also have another comment here from Junie Mirage. Andre is such a hard worker and a talented rider. Agree 100%. And it's good. I mean, things are getting rolling for you. I see only better and better things in your future. You had all of these setbacks that you handled in stride. If anything, to me, that just shows your work ethic and your dedication even more to come back and say, no, I'm meant to be a jockey. I'm going to come back from all this stronger than ever. And, like Sean said, 2022 proved that for you. So onward and upward from here, right?
Oh yeah, of course.
Now, have you ever had any plans to go and ride a race or two in Jamaica?
I thought about it. Maybe sometime down the road. Not
Yeah.
any. I wouldn't say anytime soon, but it's a tough situation there, to go to Jamaica and ride. I mean, some of like Rajiv and them or my dad, they could just easily go down there and say, "Oh, I'm gonna ride." But I mean, it's a tough situation. I don't know if I'd really go there and ride. Maybe just just to say I rode there, but
Right.
not,
Yeah.
not I'm not eager to go and ride there.
Yeah, understandable. That's how Willie is too. He's from Puerto Rico and never rides there. People are always like, "You gonna go to Puerto Rico?" He's like, "Yes, to vacation." Yeah, so it happens. Now, who are some of your mentors in the industry? You mentioned you've got, all of these cousins and whatnot in the business, but did you have anyone outside of your family who really kind of took you under their wing back when you were first getting started?
When I first started getting started, with back at Calder and Gulfstream, a lot of the older riders, they'd pull me aside and, try to help out, which I appreciated, At some of these tracks, you don't really get a lot of guys, the older riders, to help out. Everybody's kind of for themselves. But you get these class act guys, Edgar Prado, he's helped me out. He's, gave me some pointers here and there. A lot of them, Tyler Gaffaloni, he's made a point to me a couple of times because, I've only rode when I was there, I was riding a few, but they've all, pulled me aside and be like, you can try this or do this. And, they just try to correct where I messed up so I can build and get better,
Awesome. And now you have had this career for a while. Do you have people that you're taking under your wing and kind of, sharing not only your riding experience, but your life experience, your experience as a hands-on dad? That's something that we need modeled more and more in this world. That's for sure.
I try to help out all the young riders. They want to learn. I'm an open book. Ask me anything
Awesome.
you want to know. I'll show you. I'll teach you. If you have any questions, I'll answer it. If I don't know, I'll go get the answer and let you know.
Very cool. And we've got another question here from Grandma Horse Racing. How do you take last minute directions from trainers? Do you ever change from the plan or stick to it no matter what?
You know, you try to follow what the trainer says, but as you know, Jay, everything changes at the break.
Right.
Or it
Yeah.
doesn't break, you can't get to the lead. You got to change the plan. Go plan B. You always got to have a plan B, plan C, just in case, because you'd never know what's gonna happen in the race. Anything can happen, really.
How many times does a trainer tell you something and you're like, how did you get that out of looking at the book? That is not what I got.
I've gotten that quite a few times. Like there's sometimes I ride a speed horse and then they're like, let's try to take the horse back. I'm like, take the horse back? Like, we're the only speed in the race. Like, I don't understand. Where are we taking back to?
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, as
I
a
do
gambler,
not
we
envy
always
you guys.
no, as a gambler, we always wonder that too. When you look on paper and you're like, wait, how did this horse not go?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But unfortunately, you guys get caught up in that because at home, people would be like, well, that's Andre's fault when it's really not your fault. It's the trainer's fault.
No, I mean, they're just trying to go for a different game plan, try to get better run out of the horse. And, we're just trying to follow them. They've been around the horse longer than I have or whoever has. And, they know the horse better than I would. I just, I'll get on the horse maybe a couple of times in the morning and ride the horse. But, as far as the way they run, maybe he might know something different than I don't. So
What would be your best advice for someone who's just getting started trying to ride?
just trying to ride. Don't be afraid. Because in this industry, it's not if you're going to get hurt, it's when and how bad. And if you're afraid out there, you're not putting yourself in danger, you're putting everybody else in danger. Because if you're riding scared, it's just going to affect everyone else. But I mean, other than that, if you have the heart to do it, just stick to it, push through. It's the best thing you could do. It's fun. The adrenaline's it's a good high. You're just going to love it.
Awesome. I love that advice. And hold on real quick, Sean. Let me just get in a comment from another Sean Patrick Nolan, friend of the show. Love him. Loved Andre winning on Lucky Bop last week. What a fabulous ride, my friend. Tell us a little bit about Lucky Bop. I missed that one. I was working.
Oh, yes, horse for Lewis Craig. I rode. First time out, I rode her. It's a open company against a maiden special weight going 4.5. She runs second. She ran a good second. And then we went west, strictly West Virginia bred. And she just broke on top, and we just kept going. She didn't stop.
Awesome. It's a way to go at Charlestown.
Yeah. Well, let's stick it there. What are some of the favorite horses that you have ridden in the past, and some of the favorite horses that you're running right now?
Ooh, in the past, I would say one of my top ones would be Past the Butter. I've ridden him at Gulfstream. I went 2 on him. I love that horse. He was about, I want to say, a little over 17 hands. Big horse.
Ooh.
Real big horse, but he was a runner. And current ones now, I want to say Jefferson Native, Linda Stair. He's the trainer. I love that horse. She gave me the first shot on the horse. Didn't even meet me or anything. The horse running great for me. I ran second, and then ever since then, he's just been getting better ever since. And I just love that horse. And I also love the one horse that Ernest Haynes had, Complete Surprise. I went a couple of allowance races on her. She was always an honest horse. Always big-hearted horse.
So Jefferson Native is your top earning horse that you've ridden, and then Complete Sunrise or Surprise is number 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Everyone loves a winner.
I love those horses because, even when horses come next to them, they always dig in. They always try. They don't just spit it when, horse come head-to-head with them. They dig in and keep trying.
Did any of them have any weird quirks? Or have any weird quirks?
Yeah, Jefferson Native did, in the gate. At one time, he kept rearing up, so then we decided, try no handle. Nobody on his head. He was going good for a while there until his last out. He kind of flipped with me in the gate. And then, he's been off since, just give him a little break, let him grow up a little bit. He's still young, And the other one, Complete Surprise, she's a mean horse. I'll tell you that. In the morning, you looking to kick at everything, anything that comes by.
Well, that's cool that you get along with a horse with that much personality. We've got a question here from Grandma Horse Racing. How do you adjust with all the slop and snow?
The slop here, especially here, it's a different type of slop because here it gets kind of slick because it's more clay than dirt.
Yeah.
So, you just got to lean more into the turns and kind of, not like, how do I explain it? Like, going too fast into the turns, that's when you start to feel them slide. And that's not the greatest feeling.
Sure. Yeah, Charlestown is very unique. I trained there for a few years, and it's an interesting place to be. It's like its own little vibe, its own genre,
Yeah.
like I enjoyed it there, but it's different. You have to really adjust. I'm sure riding wise, of course, training wise for sure as well. And we've got a fun comment here from Julie Ramgeet. I've given him plenty of experience handling moody, badass mares. All right. Well, there you go. So,
we'll leave that one alone.
You know where to send your mean mares. We have an expert here. So awesome. I love it. So tell us.
2 questions.
Go ahead, Sean.
Nope. Sorry, Jim. So 2 questions I always ask. One, now you've been around the jocks room all your life pretty much, so maybe not, but have you ever been starstruck by another jockey or something?
I don't think I've been starstruck. I just was always a big fan of, the top riders, Johnny V, Edgar Prado, all of them big guys, But, once I got to meet them at Gulfstream, it kind of, I finally met, one of my goals. I get to meet all of them, all the big riders, and, I just loved it, And then after that, I wouldn't say starstruck. Like, yeah, I just wouldn't say starstruck. It was just a goal of mine, to meet them.
Right. And it's a cool experience because we get to do it on here. And I always think you go from the name on the paper or the person you've heard about, and now you get to know them personally, which is a total different feeling. And you kind of sometimes got to pinch yourself like, oh, that's more, you actually know the person now.
Yeah.
And then the other one, and you're a good person to talk about because you've talked about all what you've gone through, is it's been a big thing since Avery Wiseman about the mental health of jockeys. Now, you've been through a lot. So how do you keep your mental health straight and still be able to get up every day and compete?
Getting on the horses, I would say, is my stress relief. I use them as, getting on them and just puts me in a happy place. You know, it keeps me stress free, even though they might be a little crazy in the mornings. But you know, it just levels me out. Just getting on the horses. You know, I just use that as a plus side to keep myself, you know, sane. Not trying to go off the deep end or anything like that. But like I said, they just keep me happy. Like even with the farm here with the horses, it keeps me happy. You know.
So I never thought about that before. You just said about some of them aren't the best in the morning. So what's the difference? How do they act different in the morning? Are they kind of like people? They just don't want to be bothered in the morning?
In the morning, you know, you get some of them when they get a couple of days off, they like to jump, they like to kick, you know. It gets fun out there, almost like a rodeo type thing. You know, and then some of them, you know, they just get strong and just want to try to run off. But other than that, you know, you just learn how to deal with them and you know, you learn their quirks and you know how to handle it and everything just flows good in the morning after that.
Yeah. A race is very structured and, you know, training out in the morning and they know what they're supposed to do, but it's more kind of, you know, they have more opportunity to not do exactly what they're supposed to do. So
Yeah.
it can be challenging with some of them. Willie Martinez says, "What's up, Dre? Good luck, my friend." He always has to chime in. I swear, this guy. He likes to steal the show. What can I say? So, do you have any like bucket list races or anything like that? I mean, we know everyone always says the Kentucky Derby, but a lot of people have more personal goals for whatever reason. Do you have something like that in the back of your mind that you hope to achieve one day?
I would like to be, you know, a graded stakes winner. I have rode in a grade 3 before. I finished 5th, but I'd like to be a graded stakes winner, you know.
Sure.
I mean, Kentucky Derby, yeah, everybody wants to do that, but I mean, on the other hand, just to have that under my name, you know, graded stakes winner.
Yeah.
I'd like that.
That's the first thing I always look at on Equibase, the little byline there. We've got a comment here from Alexander Nicole. Send him, Andre. Send him. Yes, he will. He's at Charlestown. He's sending all the time.
Yeah, it's funny because she's from Charlestown too, and I mess with everybody in the morning there. I always tell them, you know, loose rein, send him. Don't hold him. You know, just give him his head. He'll calm down.
Yeah.
So the other thing I hear about Charlestown is you always need a pony. So,
well, well, with that, I always mess with Lori. I see her in the mornings, you know, the outrider. I mess with her every time. I'm like, it's Lori, I need a pony. This one's a little crazy. But then the times I really do need it, I don't see her. I'm like, I tell her the next day, Miss Lori, where were you? I needed a pony.
Hey, there's no shame in it. When I was out there riding, I needed a pony for real. It wasn't a joke. So.
So what's your studying like? Do you know what horses you ride this week, or do you wait the day before, or when do you start looking at the horses?
Like when entries come out and everything, I'll take a brief look at it. Like if I really sit there and read the forms and stuff, honestly, I'll forget by the time the race day. So I kind of wait till the race day or the day before to really get into it and break it down and see, you know, what I'm going to do here and there, you know.
Do you have a favorite distance that you like racing at?
I like the 4.5. I also like, well, I guess it would be 4.5 and 6.5, right around there. I like the, you know, the speeds.
Yeah. Now, out of all of these tracks you've been to, which has been your most favorite so far?
Ooh, all the tracks. I've been to quite a few.
Yeah.
As far as track-wise or scenery-wise?
Okay, let's do both.
Okay, scenery-wise, I liked Arlington.
Okay.
I went up there for just, you know, maybe half a meet. I didn't do really good up there. I didn't take to synthetic as good as I thought I was going to when I first went. But no, I really liked it there. It was a nice, pretty place, you know.
Yeah, we lost a good one there.
Yeah. And then as far as track-wise, I would have to say I liked want to say I like the Gulfstream. You know, I
Okay.
always liked that track. I mean, it might be a biased opinion because that's where I grew up. That's where I started, and
Sure.
I've been there a lot. So, but I always liked that track. You know, everyone there is always friendly, and you know, there's a lot of space on the track too. You know, so if
Right.
anything's happening, you got space to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Did you get to run on any of their new surfaces down there, or that was after?
No, I didn't get to ride on the all weather. I seen when they were building it and setting it up, and they just had got it going, and then I left right after that.
Gotcha.
Do you think that would fit your style, or kind of the same as Arlington, kind of a little different?
I mean, I think the more I ride on it, the more comfortable I'll get on it. Just like, you know, anything else. You know, you ride on the turf the first time, you're not sure what you're doing on the turf, but then the more you ride on it, the more comfortable you get, you know how to handle yourself on it. I think it's just like that with the all weather. You know, I've only been on it maybe only a handful of times, not many times. But the more you ride on it, the more I'll get used to it. So
Are you glad Charlestown don't have a turf course, or is that something you kind of miss being in Charlestown?
you know, I like the turf. I really do. I like riding close, riding tight. You know, um, the turf you don't really get dirty. So
Where would you put it though? Can you imagine a tiny little turf course inside the bull ring? That would have really tight turns.
yeah, that would be extra tight. Or they could have just built it on the outside. But
Oh yeah, you could do that.
4.5 furlong races on the turf. Let's do it.
Why not? Send them. Awesome. You got anything else, Sean?
No, I would say you said about Great Stakes. Let's circle the Charlestown Classic Day. Let's get you some good mounts there and
Yes.
keep the wins at home.
Oh yeah, I'm looking.
And I'm hoping to come out. I'm hoping to come out Charlestown Classic Day too. So let's have a big night.
Make sure I try to get one then. Definitely going to be working.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show tonight, Andre. We know that you are very busy with your work, with your kids, with being the best dad ever, as Julie says.
Thank you.
You're tied with Willie because he's also a wonderful father. But we really appreciate your time, and we cannot wait to see what 2023 brings for you. You are on the right track and headed up and up, my friend.
All right. Thank you guys so much for having me.
Thank
Thanks, Andre.
you. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye. Haha, got you the big head again.
Yeah,
Back to my evil ways.
You didn't forget that part.
Yes. Oh, that was lovely. I somehow, I don't know how, we should have crossed paths a dozen times, but I really don't know Andre. So that was really awesome getting to know him and seeing what all he's been up to and hearing some about his story. Like, that's exactly why we do this, to hear the stories behind things, because a lot of times whatever is written on the paper just does not tell you what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I took
Absolutely.
some time off because I had to take care of my kids and because I had this horrible car accident. You know, that's not something in the program. So very interesting.
And it's totally, you know, like I kind of mentioned with the show too. You know, when I was a kid and I saw some of these names that now I get to talk to, it's like total different experience. You think one thing about a person when you have their name and you kind of know them just from the media or social media, and it's totally different when you actually get to talk to them at the track or you get to text them. It's totally different. It's amazing how different your opinion of that person can change. Or like tonight, you know, Andre, you can look and see numbers or whatever, but you don't understand why. You know, he might have had 50 mounts one year. Well, it wasn't because he couldn't have rode. It just he had things come up that he couldn't ride. It wasn't that he wasn't a talented enough rider to get mounts. So I think puts a little bit of perspective on it too, and that's what our show's about.
I just really have to admire his choice too. When they said that you either have to pick riding or getting on horses for a regular paycheck, you can't do both, which a lot of riders do both. I would say the majority of riders honestly do both because, you know, like we discussed the other day, you ride the Kentucky Derby, you only take home $100. That's not very much. So, you know, sometimes you ride horses in the morning and then you also get to ride in the afternoon. The fact that he picked the steady paycheck to support his family, despite we know wearing the white pants brings you the glory, makes people think you're someone special, you know, to put that on the shelf for a minute to do what he had to do. That's just I mean, come on. To
absolutely.
put all of your own ego aside and just be like, I got to do what I got to do. Like, that's that. So.
Yeah. And, like we kind of touched, and then next time you're watching Charlestown, you want to root for a guy like Andre, definitely. And that's not just because he's Julie's husband. I mean, listen to the story. Look at what he's gone through and look what he's done for his family. So it's definitely somebody you want to root for.
Mm-hmm. And now he's, on that path. Oh my goodness. Look at all these comments coming in. I'm going to try. We've got a lot of great feedback here, so I don't want to miss out on any of it. Sean Patrick Nolan, between Romero Ramage and Andre, I don't think I've either seen anyone not smile. Two of the most genuine people you ever meet. And that was another comment we had. This guy keeps smiling. Yes, definitely. The personality shines through. He's so well-spoken. I'm so glad to see that success coming back his way and all of the hard work that he's put in, karma, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we were going to have a battle. I thought we were going to have a battle. You had, when Willie was on, you had to say how handsome he was like 5-6 times.
Yeah.
I thought Julie was going to just hammer that home today, but no, she didn't. She behaved.
Well, he can be the second most handsome. I don't care. Willie's still the most handsome. Kim Randall says he is just an amazing person. In addition to being a top-notch jockey, he is going to get that graded stakes win and then some. I agree. Yes, we are definitely going to see him hit that goal in no time. So that's a great goal to have because it's one we know he's going to topple over. The Kentucky Derby mount. I mean, goodness, hardly no one achieves that goal. But the graded stakes win, that's his this year for sure. Julie says, very well said, Jamie. Love you guys. And we love you, Julie. We love all of your awesome content that you bring, not only your interviews, but your super creative work that you do. And Grandma Horse Racing says, thanks to HRT, this is as close as I will get to them. Oh, here we go. Right. Mic drop.
Yep. I unleashed it now. There's the news.
Yeah. All right. We'll have the battle of the sexy jockey husbands. Okay. Okay, Sean, so what else do we have going on this week?
So tomorrow, Rich will be traveling out to you, I believe. He leaves tomorrow.
Yes. Okay,
so Terry and Charles will be doing Parks Day number 2 that they do on Tuesday. So have that to look forward to at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. And then we'll be back tomorrow night with Alberto Burgos.
Yes.
Got that right?
Oh my God. I'm obsessed with him.
So here's another guy. You can look at the stats where he's a very young rider, and the videos that you did at Tampa Bay, talk about smiling. He was always smiling. He always had something funny to say. Like, I think everybody's gonna fall in love with Alberto tomorrow too.
Oh, I'm telling you, he was at my wedding. I love this man. I interviewed him and I was like, he's so fun. I love him. We invited him to the wedding, not really knowing him that well, but whatever. This guy was the star of the show. Like, I will happily hand him the title of being the star of my wedding because he is the most fun. He was just like dancing all night long. So hilarious. So just life of the party does not begin to describe this man. I hand it to him hands down, even over Eddie Joe, over everyone. Alberto Burgos, obsessed with him, love him. Can't wait for tomorrow's interview.
Yeah, he's currently at Turfway, and
yes,
he's been one when we talk to Presque Isle jockeys, and you say what's an up and comer. He was the name that kept getting dropped. So
yes, he had a great year. He had some trouble getting started, I feel like, but last year he took off, and he's another one who I think is just coming into his own. Like sometimes life happens and stuff comes your way and you just got to roll through it and overcome it and keep going. And I think he's on that same path as Andre. So
then Wednesday we have Jesus Castanon. He's been around for a while. Another one veteran.
Love him so much. Great
personality. Another one jockeys will bring up as, he's kind of probably in like the George Wolf conversation at some point, I would say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. He's an awesome person as well as, just one of the most accomplished riders out there. I do love this. Okay. Sean Patrick Nolan. I am watching this on my phone. Would never watch it on a droid.
Wait, though. I wanted to go back because I'm pretty sure Android won that survey. I'm pretty sure because Android was up on the survey that Julie did. And also, if it ended and Android didn't win, Julie would have told me about it, and she didn't tell me about it. Nobody said anything. So I think Sean Patrick Nolan and Julie lost that it's Android all the way. Although I'm not going to ask Jamie because you liked one of my comments, and you can only like it on iPhone. So I know Jamie's got Yeah, that's right. Yeah. See, Julie? Yeah, I'm right.
The Ramgeets Mirages are great horse people. I'm living to see Andre ride 8 winners on a single day like the Elder. Hey, that's another goal. I love that. Nolan knows what's up. The survey isn't over yet. Stay tuned, folks. We got a lot going on with horse racing today. We're going to solve the iPhone Android debate for once and for all. We are going to have some great content coming out of Tampa Bay Downs this week. Rich is coming down here. We are doing some really fun stuff. We're going to be following around trainer John Arnett in the morning. We will also be following him into the paddock in the afternoon. We're going to be following around Agent Paula Bacon, Jockey Pablo Morales, some of our fan favorites around here that we've heard from before who are willing to wear GoPro cameras and do interviews. Just let us basically be their shadow. And we're also going to have jockeys read some mean tweets. So please stay tuned for that one, because I promise you that it will be very entertaining. So
yeah, I'm sure, because there's some mean stuff out there.
Oh, there certainly is. But we're going to have fun with it. If you can't beat them, join them.
But that access to the back stuff and seeing what they go throughout the day is awesome. Like I was at Penn National the other day, and there was just stuff I was paying attention to that I would have never paid attention to before. But just certain things I've seen that I was like, oh, that's where that happens, or that's how they do that, or, it's different stuff if you go and you try to experience outside of the betting world and just take some time looking at the other stuff. You'll see a lot of stuff that you probably never noticed before.
Sure, absolutely. I love your videos from Penn National, by the way. I've never been there, so very cool.
And the unfortunate part about it though was it was a Friday night. It was cold, very cold.
No
so
kidding.
there was not many people there. That's the unfortunate part.
Gotcha. See, we've always got a full crowd here in Tampa. I don't know. I guess it's because we live in paradise.
Because you got 70, 80 degree weather at least.
Yeah. I'm not complaining, that's for sure. All right. Anything else we need to discuss?
The only other thing would be pickswiththeprofessor.com for your college basketball is really the only thing going on right now. But he'll provide you with picks with that. YouTube, you can find him too. And at Professor Sides on Twitter.
Excellent. So everyone, also make sure to be following, liking, and subscribing to us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, everything. We want all of the social media love. We appreciate it. And big things are coming thanks to you guys, thanks to our increase in viewership, our increase in shares and likes. I mean, it's been so wonderful. Thank you for going on this journey with us. And we hope to just do more and better things all the time here at Horse Racing Today. And that's all thanks to you guys. Were you going to say something? You look like you were going to say something.
Well, YouTube subscribers were less than 60 away from 3,000. So
what? All right, let's do it. Let's tell your friends, tell your kids, tell your grandma, tell anyone. Come on, let's get this. All right. We've got 2023 goals in mind as well. So, all right, that takes us wire to wire on Horse Center tonight. And we will be seeing you very soon here at Tampa Bay. But no matter what, we know we will see you in the
winner circle.
Yeah, good night.